I am also giving myself advice today to drink your water because I am behind on my time this morning. So everybody, let's drink our water. Hydrating is important, okay? You can also cheers me with any other beverage. What did I just say? You can also cheers me with any other beverage, okay? I just love cheersing you guys. I hope you're having a great day. Cheers. Oh, hit my camera. That's great. Look what I'm wearing. My don't hoodie. You guys know the drill. If this is your first time seeing it, we added 2 more don't merch items to the Sassy merch collection. We got the don't hoodies, we got pink, white, and black, and then we have caps, baseball caps, unisex baby. We got black, white, and pink. I should have wore a hat today, truthfully, but instead I just, because it is hair washing day soon, baby. Wedding guests exposing the worst wedding experiences they ever had. Half Mormon, half not Mormon wedding. The Mormon half was ultra Mormon. The non-Mormon half was a good amount of recovering addicts. Wow, what a recipe. The mother got her daughter's attention by just standing in front of whatever she was looking at, including the groom, the photographer, the DJ, didn't matter. Mom was also pretty high most of the wedding. 22 people in the bridal party, only 2 girls were the bride's bridesmaids from before she met the Mormons. They kept getting frustrated because the Mormon bridesmaids kept pulling the bride away from them whenever they saw them all together alone. No alcohol served, so the non-Mormon side went to the liquor store across the street and served their own. Cake smash fail went straight into the bride's hair. Mormon side started to talk crap about the drinkers, so the drinkers tried to pick fights with the Mormons. Wedding ended early, lots of tears, such a hot mess wedding. The couple are both dentists. Y'all couldn't get your shit together just for one day. Put your differences aside for the bride and groom. Oh, I knew this was a disaster from the start. Different lifestyles, different values, different morals. Ooh. Bringing those together. And then adding alcohol. Oh, recipe for disaster. Saw that one coming. I was actually the bartender, but it was a hoot. First, wedding was outside and it stormed violently. Ugh, isn't that bad luck? Groom was hammered pre-wedding, hit on all the bartenders. Then the DJ got hammered, made lewd comments to women in the microphone. Then basically everyone was hammered, knocked over the wedding cake, which also happened to be a table with many candles. So the place caught on fire. Good times. Often wonder how that marriage worked out. That just sounds like a shit show. Like partying too hard, chaos, no one was in control. Like, I understand getting drunk at a wedding and having a good time, but like, there's boundaries. I feel like there's limits. A friend's wedding. She was walking down the aisle and had to pause to put out her cigarette. It was a small wedding and her friends thought it was hilarious. Married less than 2 years. She married him because he was in the military and she thought she was getting cash for life. He chose deployment to a war zone over staying with her. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. So she was walking down the aisle, cigarette in hand. It's like, hold on everybody, I need to put this out. Oh, classic. That's classy, I tell ya. That is classy and sassy. I once traveled cross country for a wedding of a once close, now distant-ish friend. It apparently was well known to all the bride and groom's closest friends that the bride and the best man used to be a thing. Ooh. But when the best man gave a 20-minute speech starting with, well, I effed her first, it came as a shock to the rest of the room. Not much applause for that speech, but the rest of the wedding went on as planned. So yeah. Did you really think you were gonna get a laugh from that? Like, I'm genuinely surprised. You practiced that speech, you wrote that out, and you're like, oh yeah, that's gonna get a laugh. Maybe at like a party or a bachelor party or something, maybe, like as long as you and the groom are fine with it, whatever. But like parents, grandparents, like time and place. Read the room, brother. I was at a wedding where the priest mistook the groom's last name for the entirety of the ceremony, calling his family the Goldbergs instead of the Goldmans. This was especially awkward as he announced what an honor it was to marry the pair whose priest he had been since they were kids. You had one job, sir. Priest man, dude. one job. Get the names right, especially the last name, because even if you don't remember their name, you can refer to them as bride, groom, and then as a pair, they are the last name. No one corrected him. After the first mistake, no one was like, psst, psst, it's Goldman, not Goldberg, psst. Like a little whisper, not one person. Hell, as the bride, I would have done it. I'm like, yo man, it's Goldberg. Like, just make a little joke. Goldman, I just said the wrong name. Ceremony was in a park, not booked or decorated. Just showed up and found a spot. Hold on, I have an itch in my nose. I'm not gonna do it on camera. Y'all are gonna come for me with screenshots of me picking my nose. Reception was at a scout hall. No decorations again, and for catering, the bride's family went through Red Rooster drive-through and got a bunch of whole chickens and chips. Like 5 different cars went through one after the other and ordered, and they didn't even pre-order. Groom and all his friends were high as kites, and only reason bride wasn't is because she announced that she was knocked up. Groom and his mates brought their dirt bikes, and after eating, went out and rode them around the hall. It was so loud and muddy. Wow, what a time. Honestly, that sounds like fun. That is like, go with the flow, free spirit, we're in it, like, just for the moment, no F's given. I don't hate it. I think I'd have fun if I was a guest. But you know, like your grandparents there, probably not a good time. Me? You should have invited me. Okay, I actually have a really good one. I was at a wedding where the bride legitimately didn't show up. They waited for a few hours. Hours. It's honestly like in the movies where everyone is just sitting around murmuring about rumors they heard. If you think that's awkward, it's even more awkward when people start to leave because there's even official word. If I recall correctly, everyone knew she was okay and had gotten cold feet or whatever. After 3 or so hours, everyone was allowed to eat and enjoy the buffet and food that was meant for the wedding, but it was still an awful wait. Weird ending to the story, she and the groom moved past it and got married a few weeks later. What? But just a small quickie wedding, since they had already blown all their money on the real wedding she skipped out on. Oh my God, that's wild. Like, if you weren't ready then, only a few weeks later, you're suddenly ready. Like, I'm not understanding it, but I'm not you, and I don't know what you're going through in your mental health. So like, that's not up for me to judge. But man, oh, you missed your own wedding. Oh, that sucks, and all the money and the time, ugh. Do y'all hear that? Now that is the plumbing, that is not my stomach, okay? I feel bad because this wasn't anyone's fault except for the kitchen staff at the venue. But almost all the guests wound up with food poisoning the next day. Oh my God. They got married a couple 100 miles away from our hometown, so most people had hotel rooms, but were supposed to leave the next day. Traveling with food poisoning, that's death. The hotel was pretty booked up to some people, so some people had to drive home like that. Luckily, a friend of mine managed to keep his room and a few of us crashed there. It sucked. That is so brutal. Food poisoning has to be one of the worst things a person and the human body can go through. That's so traumatic. Okay, I understand. There's way worse. I'm being dramatic. But it's awful, awful. Oh, I went through a 24-hour something and I thought it was food poisoning. It was like 24 to 48 hours. And I had a bucket, my garbage pail in my bed with me. It was a couple months ago. All night, every 30 to 60 minutes, I just sat up, puked in this garbage bin. Like, the mother-in-law took a swing at the bride on the dance floor. Hold on, what? The mother-in-law took a swing at the bride on the dance floor. Still blows my mind thinking about it. Oh my God, I'm just trying to picture Matt's mom taking a swing at me on the dance floor. Like, it's laughable because it would never. Angel, the angel of a woman. But what? Why? This is the Maury show right here. Why? I need the details. I hesitate to call this worst because of the circumstances beyond anyone's control, but the bride's uncle had a heart attack that morning and was in the hospital. Oh, he wound up being okay, thank God. I want to get that out of the way now, but it was awful to obviously watch everyone go through the motions of this wedding while at the same time being worried about their relative. Oh, that's really sad. Yeah, like it's hard to celebrate love and joy and happiness in a time like that when you're worried for your uncle's life being on the line. That's really sad. I'm glad he was okay though. Camo print wedding dress that was borderline see-through. Well, free the nipple, I guess. Walk down the aisle to the ScoobyDoo theme. No, nobody knows why they chose that song, including the couple themselves. They divorced a few months later after they both stopped cleaning the house in an act of defiance against one another. Wow, I feel like this, like a few sentence really painted a picture of this couple. It really did. Like camo print see-through wedding dress, you know, for, okay, type of person they are. 2, ScoobyDoo theme song. I mean, that's kind of a fun vibe, to be honest. And then they were so mad at each other that they both were like, well, I'm not cleaning. Well, I'm not either. And it was absolutely filth, but they're so stubborn not to. Yeah, divorced a few months later. Okay. I need to hear the ScoobyDoo theme song. I'm a little curious to what that sounds like. Like, I totally forget what it is. ScoobyDoo theme song. There's a remix. Oh, damn. Now I can only play a little because copyright, but oh, this is an ad. I could walk down the aisle with this. Oh my god, I totally remember this now. Yes, yes, yes. We used to sing a version of that in grade school. Let me see if I can remember it. So stupid. Scooby-Dooby-Doo took a poo and Shaggy thought it was chocolate. He took a big bite, his face turned white, and that's the end of Shaggy. What? We sang it all the time. All the time. Yep, it just came back to me. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Make sure you stay classy out there. Stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow.